So I started listening to Abraham Hicks about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe 6 months ago. Just after COVID, and then some other things happened personally that led me really searching frantically for some kind of answers. And of course, Abraham Hicks has so many answers. It was, gravitational. And I had my first most significant successful day practicing stopping the wobble, practicing being a vibrational match for what's in my vortex, practicing being tuned in, tapped in, turned on all day. I like the talk that they give where they say, Esther, there were some mornings when she first started that Esther didn't make it till breakfast when she started to wobble on some subject or another. And that's you're losing your center, right? You know that. I don't have to tell you that. You know that. If you're watching this, you already know. There's so little I have to explain. In fact, I don't really need to explain any of this, really, because you'll find your own access road. But I'm just so excited to share my access road and how I tapped into source today. And how that manifested. Just instantly throughout the day, over and over and over and over. I work with children. Children are natural mirrors. They will, if there is something in you that is off center, they will mirror that back almost instantaneously and with ferocity. And I'm in a position where I'm working with kids doing virtual learning, and that whole system is so difficult for so many kids already. So it's just this supercharged environment, emotionally. And I found it extremely challenging to stop the wobble, to maintain calm. Not just for myself, but for my class. Wow. But I really feel like I've been called to the class I'm in and the kids that I'm working with. So I'm like, I'm not going to quit on them. And I keep telling them, because they get this, like, just fear in their eyes sometimes and worry, like, what's going to happen to us? What do you mean you don't know when my meeting is? What do you mean I can't see my teacher? Like, and I just keep reminding them, like, we are in this together. I do not know what happens next. I am doing my best. I don't know why the internet's not working today. Whatever is going on that day that's a challenge, but I am not going to leave you. We are a team. We are a team. So even though it's been very, 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 very difficult, we've already established we are in this for the long haul. So yesterday was a very difficult day, extremely difficult for me personally. The stress of it just overwhelmed. And I was like, I've got to, literally, my body cannot keep doing this unless I do something. And my ego mind, monkey brain, absolutely powerless. Can do nothing to fix it, which, source is like, good, that's right where we want you, completely and utterly helpless without us. This is where you're supposed to be. And so I let the stress of yesterday kind of dissipate. I did 2 or 3 meditations, really got into it. Read, I guess 3, maybe 4 meditations, man. Really seeking that calm and that wobble-free place before I started trying to grow from that. And sorry, I lost my train of thought here. Oh, okay. So last night, as the night went on, I started to just find those good feeling things, just a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time. And then the floodgates open and I was able to create and really do some work on the curriculum that I'm working on and make a lot of headway. And I just completely trusted, like, okay, this is where that good feeling thing is. This is where that flow is. This is what I need to be doing. And just really trusting the moment. I started reading, finally, like what took me so long to actually get into this stuff. Such a time as this. Now is the time. Everything happens exactly like it's supposed to. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, just started reading that and I'm just really getting into that now moment. This is now, and I don't have to letting go, just finally able to let go of all that worry. So all of the inspiration came flooding back in. And, I spent a lot of time yesterday in prayer, I guess is the best way to put it. Just really staying tapped into that power of now and the source energy and that vibrational match place and saying, okay, but tomorrow when this happens, because there's these regular things that have been happening in the classroom that I've been just powerless against. And kids just, a couple of the kids saying things that just really dug at my own sense of self-worth. Like they didn't mean to, they're 5, they're 6 and 7 years old. I'm not like holding this little child responsible for saying things that just don't have any meaning even to them. But I'm like, man, are they reflecting back to me my shadow side so much? Like I thought I healed this stuff. Nope, you definitely did not. And the ego is just, it's finally like losing some steam, but man. But anyway, so about all of those things, I just really went to source and I'm like, okay, so when this happens, like what's a good feeling thing that I can find? What I did was I allowed myself to see the contrast. Okay. Because yesterday was a gift. I got all the way to the unwanted side of some stick and all right, now you know where that is. It's like taking that first strike in baseball, and like, okay, now you know what the pitches look like. That's what a strike looks like. That's what you want to hit. It was like that. So yeah, like now collecting my thoughts. Yeah, now you know what the unwanted looks like. Okay. So when I know what an unwanted, so when this thing has happened, how does that make me feel? What in me is that triggering? And sometimes it's obvious and sometimes it's not so obvious. I have to really, tap in and deep breath. So this is what I really wanted to get around to sharing. It was when I do that, I'm actually feeling something in my, let me draw out here, in my solar plexus region, right? So really mid body, yeah, solar plex region. That's where my seat of true emotion is. That seed of the desire of the vortex. That's where the seat of my emotion is. And it can get muddied real fast, right? I got a channeled message yesterday, not me personally, but from someone else that said love is just evil is just a distortion of love, right? That if you take love and reverse it and morph it, the O starts to look like an I, and there's evil. That was the message that I got from a particular channel, that I was supposed to share. I don't know if it was supposed to be in that context or not, but there you have it. Anyway, so that those feelings, they can get distorted and projected. And once you start projecting, I mean, that feeling has a life of its own, right? So I was able to really take advantage of seeing that contrast and kind of go back in my mind and go, okay, when this has happened in the class, what stick is that activating? And can I feel that negativity in it? And once I kind of get a handle on, okay, there's that negativity, or there's that unwanted feeling. Okay, can we start to calibrate? Can we start to move the needle? Can we start to move the needle and move the needle and move the needle and move the dial and just fine tuning? It's like, when you used to have to turn the dial to get your radio stations to come in, and you would find that spot it's right there. You see the numbers. You're trying to find 103.4, and it's definitely somewhere between the 103 and the 104. But if it's not exactly lined up, that little tuner knob, it's just not quite going to get it. And so that's what I was doing today. I've done enough work in myself and with my healing that I was able to really tap into really subtle changes in my vibration and go, okay, so what can we do to just turn it closer? Not to get it lined up. I'm not all the way lined up there right now on a few key subjects. So we're just turning it closer. What can I do to feel a little bit better? What can I do to feel a little bit better? What can I do to feel a little bit better? And I did that all day today. And my day started, mind you, with an amazing, I mentioned what I'm doing already, a school teacher from the county who came to the childcare facility that I'm working at, to connect with the students of hers that I have in my class. And it was just, Source had said last night when I was praying that they were going to show me confirmation that we're on the right path. And that connection coming in like that as a direct expression and of what I put in my vortex, like it manifested so fast. That was how my day started. And then it was not like a seamless day. You know what I mean? I mean, there were definitely challenges, and every time a challenge came up, every time that stick got activated on one subject or another, okay, tap in, tune that knob. It's just finding a thought that's going to just turn it ever so slightly to something wanted. And then just allowing it to be. And that being in that clear state of allowance, that has got to have been the hardest part of this whole practice. But I did it, and I kept doing it, and I kept allowing it, and I kept allowing it. None of the things that have been happening regularly on a daily basis in that classroom, none that have been triggering me, none of them happened. None of them. The kids played together peacefully, calmly. We had to okay, I was getting ready to say something, but that might be for a different time, if at all. That's irrelevant to this story. But the kids were playing peacefully, calmly. We connected child to child, or teacher to child, caregiver to child on a completely new level. It was magic. It was magic. We were co-creating. was co-creating with all my little feelers. Children are such powerful, powerful creators already. So we just let those collective corks float. Collective corks float. I allowed my ego to trust the inner being of the children. That if I'm searching, I'm going to my vortex to calibrate and turn that knob, that their light bodies, their subtle bodies have the same intention as mine. And to see that come out where there had been conflict, there was a release of energy. It was beautiful. And I am blessed to get to experience it. Can't wait to see what happens next. It's wonderful co-creating with you all. Namaste.